My name is Elizabeth Redu. I'm going to take you through the folder systems of NVivo 11 Pro for Windows. Now, I've opened a copy of the sample project. We are looking at three main areas on this front end. The first area is your list view. The left-hand side bar is called the navigational view. And of course, we have the menu systems and the ribbon. So I want to focus on the navigational view where the folder systems for you to work with are located. Now, the first folder that I'm looking at is sources. We have another folder called notes and classification. Just think of them as the folders. Now, with the source folder, once you click on the source, the software will give you 4 separate sub-menus under the sources. This is organized in such a way that you can bring different information into different folders. So we start with the internals folder. The internals folder is where you bring every piece of data that you can import it into your project. So for instance, all your transcript, PDFs. Let's take a look at the sample data, the kind of variety of information that the researchers brought on and how they've also reorganized it within the internals. So this arrow pointing to the internals is your navigation. So you click on it and that would then reveal separate folders. This doesn't come when you create your own project. I will go through that later in another session. This is what the researchers have done because they wanted to organize their system in such that all the township and the area photographs are kept in one place. In fact, they even further went down with subfolders to organize their data for them. So this will be all photos taken, aerial photos. We have the GIS and so on. So I want to close it by clicking back on the arrow to close that folder together. Now the second folder is interviews. I'm sure we can all relate with the interviews because majority of us as qualitative researchers, we work with interviews. So here you can create this folder, call it interviews or interview transcript, and then you can import all the people that you interviewed. Now, in this particular project, what the researchers have done is they wanted to demonstrate that you don't have to bring all transcript into this folder because what they have done is that Betty and Paul, for instance, this icon shows that it's a video, so they brought a video. We look at Helen, and Helen is an audio file, and of course Ken is video. The rest of them are all documents done in Word, for instance. So that is how you would work by creating folders and organizing the data that you bring in. We have social media folder, we have survey data. Of course, in your own project, you may not have all this variety of data, so you concentrate on the data that you have and then you create a folder for it. If all the data that you have is interview transcript, then all you need to do is to create one folder called interview transcript or interviews and then bring all the data. In fact, you could even put it on the top at the internals. So that is how the storage system works. Now, I want to take you to next to the externals. Now, what this external folder is designed for is to allow you to be able to create a virtual transcript for external sources. For instance, a web page or web pages that you have some interest and you want to gather information and bring it into your NVivo folder. Because you can literally, of course, bring the website, you can go to it using the URL. But let's take a look at some of the information that this particular sample folder has got. One of the data that can take you to, I mean, I can go into the first one, but we can also stop by at the NCC title. You notice that all of these external files have got this little icon that gives you some kind of a hyperlink chain, which we're familiar with. So if I were to go on the NCC title project, I want you to right mouse click to get a pop-up menu, and I'll show you two separate external way of opening. So we have opened the external. Now this first one is not the website that is connected, but it's rather your own extracted data, which means you've created a whole your own transcript. So let me just click that to open it so you can see what I'm trying to explain. So here you create a document, and then you go on to the website and you gather photos and text, or you make them up, or you cut and paste, whatever it is that you want. You can bring all sorts of information from different pages and bring them together here, almost like your mood board. Right, now back into the NCC title, I want to show you how you set one up. You right mouse click. This time we want to take a look at the open external file. This will take you straight onto the website address. So let me just attempt to double click. That will then open the internet web page, which is actually open behind here. So here you can see that it will take you to the web page, and you can probably remember that this picture was taken, another picture was taken. You know, you kind of gather information. You can probably pick everything if you want to, but you've got the idea. So back into our NVivo project, I want to show you where that link, the hyperlink, is actually hidden. So back into the NCC title, I want you to right mouse click, and then you can take a look at the properties. Every NVivo item has got a property, almost like the backdoor entrance that you can see what's going on. So if we click on that, it will then give us this external properties to this NCC title. You can see the first tab is the general, where you give it a name and you can go ahead and give it a description, which is optional. The second tab is the external. This is where you get the URL link. Of course, the type, you could go for a web source material or even a file linking to a file somewhere physical. But you can go for the web link. In this example, they went for the web link, and you can see that the URL shows you the address to the web link. Obviously, with today's addresses, it's so gruesome. You never type it. You just go to the website and then copy the address from the address bar of the website and then bring it in here. And so that is what you need to do. I'll just click on cancel because I haven't made any changes to the address and come out of it. So I can close this window just to recap or show you that this is how you create all the external in case you need to. But I'll demonstrate it later on in the next session when I'll show you how you create an external file. Now we also look at memo. Memo is a folder where you could have the opportunity to set up your own field notes, your own reflective notes, your supervision meeting notes, all sorts of different things, because you can't really go into the original transcript and change things. Yes, you can annotate it, but you want a place where you can pour out your growing understanding and your feelings and sentiments and all sorts of eureka moments that comes to you, so you could do anything. If we were to take a look at some of the information that I see, it may not make a lot of sense to you, because I'd rather you take a look at it from a plain sheet where you start really doing things. So here they will date stamp it just to remind them what they did in one, if you carry on and you get 30 pages or whatever number of pages, as you begin to actually pour your reflections on, it can actually create a very nice document for you to work with. The framework matrix is a very different kind of program, really. It is a data reduction methodology, which I rather deal with this separate. So there is no copy here for me to demonstrate. So I'll come back to that. And that just conclude the sources as a storage with the three main folders. Now, if we step